You always let it roll a few seconds. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about how to sand your car properly. First, here's the tools that you need to be aware of. We have 3 grades or grits of sandpaper here. We have our most coarse grit, which is a 100 grit. That's how we start. We have our finer grit paper, which happens to be 135 grit. And you can see the 135 here on the back. And then we have our finer grit, or finest out of these 3, which is a 220 grit. You can't quite see it, it's cut off of this sheet. This is the 220 grit paper. The way sandpaper is basically identified, the higher the number, the finer the grit, which gives you the smoother surface. And what we've done is we've developed a little tip here to make the life of your sandpaper go as long as possible. We do a little tri-fold, which is in 3. We fold the sandpaper in on itself like this, so you're basically folding it in half backwards, and then you fold it again in half over on itself. The reason that works well is because if you use this surface to sand and this surface becomes dull, you can just open up one of the other surfaces and you've got a fresh surface here. When that one becomes dull, you've got your 3rd surface still, and that should be more than enough to get you through the sanding job. And then you just repeat that for each one of these grits, like so. Now, to sand your piece, your car in this instance, your stock, we've already done the rasping and the filing of the car. Okay, so what we're going to do at this point is to take the sandpaper to it, and we've still got some bumps along here, and you go by feel more than anything else. And the way you sand it is right along the length of the car with the grain, putting medium pressure on it. Obviously we're going to wear our safety glasses here, and we're just going to sand right along the body of the car, looking for any spots that are extremely rough and making sure we work those out really good. You've seen in all your pictures on the websites of really good cars, very rounded, smooth edges, and you want to really work on that. Let's assume that we've done the whole car with this 100 grit paper. We would then move to the 135 grit sandpaper and just repeat the process on the whole car. There is no substitute for good sanding. Do the whole car that way. Now the question always comes up, when am I ready to prime my car? You know when you're ready to prime your car when you have a very velvety smooth finish. And very smooth velvety finish is what you're looking for. And basically what that means is there are absolutely no visible bumps or cuts or saw blade marks in the wood at all. And it is smooth to the touch in every possible way, in every single part of the car. Like at this part right here, there's still a good saw mark there, so you would need to sand that out, starting back with 100 grit paper, and then making your way back through the other grits until it's as smooth as possible.